Hey y'all, welcome back to Chat with Coach Amy. It's me, myself, and Darlene. Yeah.
Good morning.
We've already been talking for 20 minutes. Don't let us fool you. Bless it.
I know. And then we always think we should have probably started recording.
Shoulda. Oh.
Yeah, I always say something fun.
How are you?
Good, good. How are you this morning?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. It's the week is coming to an end. So
it is.
that's
It's
exciting.
Thursday. Y'all are gonna be listening to this on Monday, but it's Thursday morning here.
Yeah,
Isn't it Thursday? Yes, it's Thursday.
it is.
Wait a minute.
Oh, those holiday weeks, man. Phew,
Yep.
I
Crazy.
never know it. Yep, I never know what day it is for a good week.
Yep. Yep.
Completely
What you got for
confused.
me today
Okay, all right, ladies. I think we're wrapping up this list of questions.
from
Like
January?
from Jamie. We've covered so many of them, and so many of them, like I think I probably say this every time, is, a lot of people want the same information. So, but I was able to find a good handful of some miscellaneous ones that were kind of fun. So,
I'm a little
good.
nervous.
Oh, don't be. They're not that fun.
Okay.
Okay, so there was a couple questions about supplements.
Okay.
And some of them were referencing the like money wise. So,
Oh,
and it's another one of those, I think, from what it sounded like, one of the girls' questions was there's so many out there. There's so many different things that people
yeah.
say are good for us. So, wanting to, be careful with your dollars and pick certain ones. How would you recommend somebody pick specific supplements
Yeah.
that they
So
should?
yeah, I think you need to prioritize your struggle. Like for me, my vitamin D is perpetually low. That's very common with people with thyroid issues. So, and honestly, vitamin D probably isn't a good one because it's an inexpensive supplement. But I choose that. I do a methylated B12 because I have MTHFR genetic mutation. It's a chewable. That's on auto subscribe. I started on the the desiccated beef, liver, and thyroid supplement through Ancestral.
Supplements.
Yeah.
Yep. Hmm.
And I was taking that, I weaned off of Armor and it didn't do me well after a little bit. I was doing okay for a little and then I was like, nope. So I had to get back on Armor, but I still take a couple of those and I still have them on auto ship. So they last me longer.
Yeah.
I have that. What else do I take? I have been taking a variety of gut health things, and right now I would not be very helpful at telling y'all what they are, because I've changed them to just try out things. I love doing that, as you know, Darlene. I love trying new
Mhm.
things, and I'm not scared to try new things. There are people that research the bejeebies out of Ziploc bags. I just don't. I'm just like, well, we'll give it a whirl. So that's just the way I feel. And the other one that I definitely will spend money on is L-theanine. And I've recently found, thank you to my resident pharmacist, Denise. She helped share a extended release. So it helps as you take it and then throughout the day, just one pill.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll be really nice and link these for you guys, won't we, Darlene?
Yes. Yeah.
So if you're listening on the YouTubes, you need to click description or caption or more or some little word, and all this will pop up. Links for days. I am an affiliate for some of these things, but for some of them I am not. So you just go right on ahead and get what you want. We'll put it on Facebook Money Networks too. If you're in Blooms, you have all this anyway. But I just think prioritizing what your main struggle is and like just see what you can do. And there's some of them, like if you're going to do something for your gut, you can't skimp on it. Like you need to do it the right way, not every other day. Like you got to do it the right way, I think.
I think so too. I think I have found that too. We talked about it in Blooms, I think about Nourish Her Naturally,
Yep.
those earthly products. And I had got it and I was like, okay, well, I want to stretch it out. But I didn't see the same results as when I did it
Right. That's right.
consistently. And I did it consistently at first. And then I noticed I noticed a difference. And so then I'm like, oh, okay, I can just,
Right.
And it didn't.
Yeah.
So
Most natural slash homeopathy type things are going to be that way. You got to be consistent. You know, I used to do essential oils, which I still do. I have nothing against them, but I used to do them like for real, legit. But you have to like if my kid had a fever or sinus infection or stomach virus, like it's not one drop and rub on it and you're fine. It's like
yeah,
a drop and a rub on the hour for 48
right.
hours. And then you're like, oh, yeah, we're fine now. Like it's got to be that consistency. So
Yeah. Well, that actually the way you brought that up with consistency brings up another one that was there was when you change up something and it sounded like the way that maybe she was eating, like whether it made me think of like the Slim and Cycle or like an insulin resistance or even I guess a supplement would work for this. Like when you change up something, how long do you give the new thing you're trying?
mhm.
What would you say? How
Oh
long should
man,
before you?
at least a month, but 3 to 6 months, I think will give you a solid answer. But people don't want to hear that. And I'm like, well,
Right,
sorry, but that's the way it is. But also, I don't know this. How long does it take for a new routine to become habit and you don't have to think about it? Like it takes a while.
right,
You have to establish those things. And I think you've got to give your body time to recalculate. That's our new favorite phrase. Um, and get used to it. And the healing is what you got to give time to do. Because if I'm using a gut supplement to help from my myriad of antibiotics that I've had in the last year, I've got to give it time to work and I've got to give it time to let my body heal, recalculate, do what it needs to do, and then start seeing the fruit of you know, my regimen, if you will. So yeah, you got to give stuff time, give things time. Even people that are in one-on-one coaching, they're like, well, I just haven't lost any weight. Okay, but have you quit sugar? Do you have less headaches? Is your inflammation down? Do you have longer, I can't, endurance? Are you not crippled by food choices? Can you stand up for yourself? Are you drinking more water? Are you less sick? Have you reduced your prescriptions? Who gives a heck what the scale says? Do you have more muscle? Just
isn't that
saying,
funny
you
how we do it?
guys. Just
I
saying.
don't, and it's so funny. It's like we think the scale is going to be the first one. We all want that to be the first thing that changes.
It's the last one. But that
Yeah,
scale cripples you because if it doesn't say what you want it to say, you're going to quit doing all the things you've been doing and you're never going to see the results you want.
yeah.
That's going to go on
Hence,
a shirt right there, ain't it?
yeah. Hence non-scale victories, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
That's why we celebrate them in blooms in buds when we're doing it every Friday. We're going to talk about something not on the scale because that's the only thing that's going to keep you going, guys. I mean, I was just telling a one-on-one in March after my surgery, I was 144 pounds. Now, some of y'all are like, oh, I'd love to be 144 pounds. Well, I was 132 and doing really good last summer, a year ago right now. Now, my muscle mass has grown for sure. My clothes really haven't changed. So there is something kind of weird and going on. I think the whole gut thing, once again, I know I've talked a lot about that right now, but I got some inflammation in my gut from all the antibiotics and everything. But, I was 144 in March. I'm looking at my tracking sheets right now because I've been tracking my own fuels and making sure I'm doing and making sure I have FP on CrossFit days. That's something I do. Like on CrossFit days, I'll have S or E because I feel like I need a little bit more calorie because of the way I work out. But I'm paying attention to it. And I'm now 139, 138. And 137 is my happy place where I would like to be if you want to know a number on the scale. I don't know why. I love the number 137 for me. I just do. But am I going to just say, well, forget this? I'm not at 137 because just like you said not too long ago, the alternative is I called her Fat Amy. That's the alternative. I don't, no, ma'am, no thanks. I'll be 139 forever if that's the way my body's going to be. That's fine because I feel great. I think I look great. I'm happy. So you've just got to get that. hold that the scale has over you, you just got to let it go. And I had so many that just got rid of the scale and they are living in some freedom.
For sure. For sure. That's a big one. I've heard that a lot in buds specifically.
Yeah. When I
I'm sure
tell them to
there's plenty
ditch
of,
the scale, they're like, what?
yeah, yeah. And then at the end of buds, they'll come back and say how freeing that was or what a difference that made
and
for them.
and the evaluations reviews that I do for buds, and I'll say, did you lose weight? I don't know, I ditched the scale. And I'm like, yes, that's what I'm talking about, but they're
Right.
like, I bought a medium shirt and I was an extra large or large, so there's something happening. But I think the allowing the scale to dictate your decisions and your actions towards taking care of yourself, it's got to stop.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree. I do. So that idea of the month to 3 months could be anything, like supplements, food,
Yes.
your exercise routine,
Sleep.
yeah,
Yep.
sleep. Oh, right, and yeah,
Water.
rest.
Yeah, all of it. Fueled,
Yeah.
water, walked and rested.
Mm, that's perfect. The really quick on exercise, there was someone who asked about there's again, here's that there's over and dated with all the things.
Oh, sure.
The YouTube videos, there's like all these creators or people, not even just creators, but
Yeah.
you know, whatever the
People.
influencers, all the things that do workout videos.
Yeah.
Is it, do you stick to one kind? Was one part of the question. And then the other part was if does it matter? So like say you pick a different person like on Monday, Tuesday, like you're just does it really matter as long as you're moving, or do you need to find a routine
Yeah.
that's consistent?
I am certain that someone way more qualified to answer this question will have a different answer. I don't think it matters because I want to see women. I think what matters is, do you enjoy it and can it be sustainable for you? If you put me in a cross country training program, I would hate it and be mad at you and be mad. I'd be so mad. I don't like running. I do Murph because I love my country and I want to do that well. Run a mile, do all the crazy things, and then run another mile. That is insanity. It's awful. Once a year is plenty. I don't want to run, but you take me to CrossFit and I walk in, I have no idea what I'm about to do. It's just exciting to me because I'm about to do it with some of my favorite people. And I'm going to beat so and so. Like, I'm going to nanny boo boo them and I'm going to beat them. You know what I mean? Like, time or whatever. It's just fun. It's all fun. But someone that's a more of an introvert, that would scare them to death. So they need to do things at home, whatever. Everyone's so different. So I think number one, it needs to be something that you enjoy. And if you're like, I hate sweating, that's something you're going to have to get over. But, just in general, what would you find? And you might have to kiss a few frogs, to find it. Sweet Kim Fowler, love you, girl. That girl loves some Zumba. Like, she loves it. Me, that is terrifying to me. No, even by myself. Amy don't dance. Amy don't. Amy don't even sway. Like that, I don't want to do that. Blech. So it's just so cool how we're all different. So if you want to be intentional about building muscle, you do need to do either a full body weightlifting program or do an arm day, a core day, a leg day, something. Yes, you do need to think through that. But if you're just coming from couch to something, anything's better than the couch, guys. You know, that's what I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
And I think that helps with the analysis paralysis. If
Uh-huh.
it's open and you can try to like play with it some, because I know I'm guilty of that. Like I feel like I need to have everything lined up for something to work well instead of just jumping in and just going.
Yeah.
So I think that would free that idea where it's like just try something and then you're moving for 20 minutes. Great. And
Yeah.
then maybe you hated it, so you just pick something else the next
Right.
day.
I have a
Yeah.
client who is the couch to working out, one of those things, and she has some physical limitations. And I just want to share anybody listening here that you're like, I'm sedentary or I am very overweight or I have a foot problem. A lot of people have plantar fasciitis and it is painful. Y'all need to look up Donovan Green Fitness on YouTube. He has 9 gajillion amazing exercises that are all free on YouTube. It's now called something else, but you can still find it under his name. And I told her, I was like, don't you dare spend 1 second trying to find the perfect video. Just do one. Just do one. Just do it.
Yeah. Because it is it you get debilitating when
Yep.
there's so many options. I mean, I know that's not
Pick it.
everybody's problem,
Pick it.
but
Go.
it's not right.
And I mean, maybe you just go by the time stamp. You're like, oh, that one's 10 minutes. I'll do that one first. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a great idea. Because there's just so many out there. It's all of that, like we were just talking about with supplements, and there's the exercise ideas and different all these things. And so narrowing it down. Um, so that actually kind of goes into because then it stresses people out. Somebody asked literally like their question was, why does stress make it so much harder to lose weight?
Oh, because your cortisol is spiking. And when your cortisol is elevated, your body is not going to let go of weight. And then your estrogens turn into fat and you have the spare tire.
And is it part of that fight or flight, like the idea, like
Yes,
is
your
that what?
body's constantly like, ah.
Yeah,
So something that's tense and wound up, it's tense and wound up. It's not going to let go of anything.
yeah. So let's take those stressors out. Just pick something.
Yep.
Let's pick something and go with it. I love that 3 month thing. That's really good to know. Because I think changing anything
And
from
that's
whether
Amy's
it's this,
opinion. I don't know that there's studies and research. Again, I don't care.
right.
I've seen it. And I've done this for almost 5 years, Darlene.
Oh,
I'm going to say 3 months, 3 to 6.
yeah.
I'm sticking
And it
to
just makes sense because it doesn't, you don't know. Yeah, I just think, yeah, that's great. I'm gonna make sure that's in there. So okay, so then there was another one, and I know we've gone over this. So let's say to date, as of right now, what would you say your favorite SE and fuel pool meal slash snacks are? Like, what are your three
that I really
favorites?
make in real life are the ones that I love because they're different.
Let's do real life.
Okay, so S is going to be eggs, breakfast meat, and a zucchini and coconut oil, maybe berries, collagen coffee. And I will eat that breakfast, lunch, or supper. It doesn't matter. That's going to be my quickest one.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. E, I'm going to say lean protein will be canned chicken from Sam's, half a can, canned lentils or prepped quinoa, spinach or a zucchini again. I love the zucchinis. And then tahine steamed in a pan with a lid. It takes like 5 minutes. Fuel pull, collagen coffee, or cottage berry whip.
Yeah.
Dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. I have a bottle container, whatever they're, thing of tahini.
Yes.
Had it probably,
And
I
it's
don't
still
even know. I'm
good.
not even going to admit how long it's never been opened.
7 years. It's never been.
I always literally go for the Tonys. Like I just grab
Oh,
Tonys,
I
like when I'm
love
cooking.
Tony's.
Right.
Yes.
But I always will see you like in the kitchen when you do your lives and you're like, let just put some, I'm gonna get some tahini for this because it's gonna be
Let's go
great.
get
And
the
I always
tahini.
go, I'm gonna do that.
I tried
I always
tahine
do.
on the mango. I did not like it. So I'm just going to leave my mango plain and you people can tahine your mango. I don't want to.
Yeah, I didn't use tahini, but I don't know what the other one to make it kind of that spicy and fruit and stuff. That wasn't my jam either. But I know a lot of people like it.
I
A
love
lot
it.
of people do. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How about some favorite health books that you may recommend?
Since y'all can't see my face, I made a scrunched up face because I don't really do that. Because I know what works and I don't have to know everything all the time and all the new stuff. All the new stuff stresses me out because I'm barely doing what I need to do. Just saying. But
That is it. And that's just, I'm telling you,
I know you people want an answer.
well, and it can be so crippling, like just what we've talked about with any of this stuff. It's like people that you trust or that you're familiar with, maybe even THM or, that run alongside THM or they recommend things. And then you're like, oh man, like, I don't
It's
know.
just
And
like I don't listen to the potties unless Darlene tells me I need to. I love Serena and Pearl with all of my heart. It's just too much for Amy. It's just too much for me. And I had to turn off something. And so Darlene, God love your heart. She'll be like, okay, I think you should listen to this one, or this is what you need to know from this one. So, you know, I think something had Pearl talked about some supplement she's using, and I've seen people asking, what was that again? What was that again? And so I think that's great. But just because Amy, and this is just a little tag, because I'm pretty sure what she's using is for thyroid. Um, I do have Hashimoto's. Yep, sure do. I am not dairy free. I am not gluten free because that's not real life for Amy. If you want to be gluten free and dairy free to support your body better for your Hashimoto's, go for it, man. I've done it. I hated it. I want to enjoy my life. I've already taken out sugar. I've already taken out fried foods. I've already taken out so many things that if I want to sprinkle a cheese on my taco or a slice of cheese on my hamburger once a while, I'm going to do it and it's going to be fine. That's just how I feel. That's just how I want to live my life. And that is sustainable for me. And I think that's why I've been able to do this for 7+ years. It's because I have that perspective. Cheese. You knew I was going to say it.
Yeah.
But the books, I've pulled four because they're right here beside me because these are four that I do love. The first one, this is not necessarily a plug for you to buy this. If you're in Blooms, you have access to this, by the way. But the Satisfied Workbook by Rona Epstein is life-changing. It is life-changing. And it's not necessarily a health book, but it is help. It is, I think.
I
So
think so.
it's a spiritual guide to recovery and food freedom. So this is like Alcoholics Anonymous for food addicts. And I do have a course for this that I go through this. And you can do this with me if you want to, but it's amazing. I loved it. Next, 100% Atomic Habits. And we may need to make a course on this, Darlene, because I went through this book. I did the same thing. It's available in Crushing. So if you have my Crushing program, it's in there. This book changed my life. 100%. Calm Your Mind with Food. I'm halfway through this. It's a little woo-woo, but it's really good. I like it. Her name is Uma. I have no idea how to say that. Naidoo. It's something that I found. Mark Hyman that did Forever Young Forever. He is one of the little people. Anyway, it's really good. I found it when I was trying to use up some of my Audible credits, and I liked it so much I bought the real thing. So that tells you, I don't know, but it's really good. And I listened to her, and she is really cool. And then this one was given to me when I had my surgery by Cindy Kiefer. Thanks, Cindy. Forever Strong by Gabrielle Lyon. And she uses words like level up and guardrails, and we love her. So I had this in one of maybe my stories on Instagram or something. And one of my Blooms bought it. And she was like, hey, I know I'm not supposed to message you, but did you get level up and guardrails from her or what? I was like, oh no, ma'am. I said, I just got this book in February. No. So that was really cool to me. I was like, that's sweet. I love those little sprinkles from
Right.
God. But this is talking about protein and building muscle, this protein and muscle. It's a really good book. And I'm listening to it on Audible too.
Do you do both? Do you enjoy, do you feel like you get more out of it when you do both?
Yeah, I don't do them together, but like if I'm listening to it while I'm writing or creating, I'll open up my book to that page and mark it in my book. That's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I'm kind of across the board on the way that I learn, but listening is probably top. And then I do like visual stuff, so I think that's why when I hear something that I really like, I go to that, you know, and
The
mark it.
concrete it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, it's also probably like how you make your images because you're really good at making images and stuff
Yes.
like that to
Thank
share
you.
with people that are visual. Because I think that a lot of people, I remember seeing that when we were trying to ask people kind of what,
Yeah.
how you learn and what you're doing and so that's awesome. Okay, let's see. Um, Actually, I think that was my six. That was the six so that we went through. I know. And the rest, most of them that like we've talked about so much of hormones and how you stick to the plan with your family and when life gets kind of upside down and you have to that inspired to be disciplined,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. So I really want to be able to tell people that if you're not in the Mighty Networks, that now we've put some of the sweat drives on YouTube, a couple of them. And if you need some inspiration, I would highly
On
recommend
over for
listening to
free,
them.
girl.
I know those ones are so good. And
Thank you.
it's like you have so many thoughts that come in that in the morning or something
My
when
poor
you're
little brain. It's just like
it's so freshened up with your exercise or something because
those endorphins are pumping.
yeah,
And
because
I feel so, I'm so clear. Like my mind is so clear.
yeah, and you're able to give it
I
in
just make,
such
and I'm
it's
not
the
making it up, but they're coming. It's just a
yeah,
natural, organic flow of words and encouragement, I guess.
yeah. And I think a lot of these questions, a lot of people, I think this is just a good way to get some of that because a lot of those questions have to do with that on keeping on and doing the hard things.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I think that's awesome.
I'm praying on my theme for next year. Um, and I told Wes the other day, I said, I'm not going to tell y'all what it is, but I told Wes, I said, I think this is it. And he was like, how do you do that? And I was like, and this is the way I want it to look on the shirt. He was like, how do you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just special. Somebody had sent me a question on Facebook, like messaged me, and I didn't respond because y'all, I just can't. I'm sorry. All the things y'all send. And I'm trying to see if I can remember her name. I found it. Oh my gosh, I'm so good. Okay. So she said, you're frozen, Darlene. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. She says, hi, Coach Amy. I have a question. Could chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia be related to adrenals? Yes, 100%. She said, I know very little about this. Is my adrenal support thing ready or is it close or what are we doing?
It's close. It's very close.
Very close. Okay. So we are working on a course called is it
Supporting.
supporting?
Yep.
Supporting your adrenals. And so I think that'll be helpful. But yes, I mean, if you have chronic fatigue, that is very hard. It's very hard. And if you have fibromyalgia, which I have healed from fibromyalgia, I would love to say that and tell y'all as a testament to my THM journey, that's gone. And I kind of thought about that while I was doing Murph. I'm like, this old girl with Hashimoto's, no hormones, natural, and fibromyalgia used to be is killing Murph. Like, did so good. So, like, I just want to encourage you guys that if you're going through this, you may have no, desire to do CrossFit or whatever, but you can, but you can. Speaking of themes, a couple years ago, it was actually I can because you
Right.
can. It takes effort, it takes time, it takes consistency, but you can.
Yeah.
And I think that healing fatigue and fibromyalgia means no sugar, no fried food. It means being on plan. It means taking care of yourself, slowing down, saying no. Then you got the hydration. You've got walking is what you need to do. You've got singing canaries. You've got quinoa, anti-inflammatory stuff. That's what you need to be doing. And you do it for a long time, forever and ever and ever,
Right. Because it
over
just
and over
constantly
and
is
over.
supporting. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's that time, giving it
I
a
was
chance so
on,
that you're
yeah, methotrexate. I was on, is it Ultram? Is that prescription pain medicine? I was on all that stuff. And it never helped anything. My doctor actually called it, I had Amy disease. She thought I had lupus, but she would call it fibromyalgia. She would call it chronic fatigue. She would call it this, that, and other. I call it being unhealthy.
yeah.
you know, I was just legit unhealthy. So
Yeah.
now I'm not. Now I am healthy.
Makes such a big difference too. Makes
Yeah.
such a difference.
Yeah.
That being able to look back and to remember, yep, I'm doing all these things so that I'm not back there anymore.
Amen. I'm not, ain't no way that, and that's what keeps me going. People ask me that all the time. And I know I've said that on here. Um, nope. I like this girl. People talk about they want to go back to their 20s, and that's just because I was immature. But even going back to my 30s, no, that's when I was the sickest. No thanks. I like being
Right.
42. And I'm really looking forward to 43 and 44 and 45. And I can't wait to see what I look like when I'm 50. Like what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be exciting.
Yep.
It's fun to be able to look forward, and be
My
excited
future.
instead
Yeah.
of,
A lot of people don't think that way. And I know it's weird, but I'm very future minded. Yeah. Anything
it
else?
is. I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right. Well, we'll close
Yeah.
out then. That sound good to you?
It sounds really good, but we're gonna come with some things next month because we'll be back. We'll still be back, even though our questions are wrapping up. We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll come up with something.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Oh, always, always. Hey y'all, I do have a summer bundle for sale that will support your summer. So be sure to grab that. It's pay what you can. And I do have summer buds starting June 23rd. Registration opens on June 10th. And I also have spots open for one-on-one, but it doesn't start until the beginning of July. So you got a little time to think about it. But if you have any questions, you can always message me, reach out, email Darlene. She would love to talk to you, I'm sure.
I would.
Y'all have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for listening. Bye,
Bye,
y'all.
everybody. Bye.